Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
So excited to have Lucille Reddic here on the podcast and the Zoomcast. She's the founder and owner of Lucille Reddic Enterprise. She's a professional speaker. She has her own coaching business, and she's also a marriage ambassador, a marriage reconnection coach, best-selling author, 10X speaker, and yeah, she's living the dream. Successfully married over 38 years, or did we cross that anniversary line to 39 yet?
Yes, we did in January.
I remember. Well, good to have you back. Congratulations on all you do. And there's still so much more to you. So, how would you introduce yourself to everyone today?
Well, hey, you said it. I'm Lucille Reddick. I am all of those things you said. I love marriage, and I am on a mission to help married couples stay together and avoid divorce. I understand the life disruption that divorce causes, and so I do that on my mission in a number of ways. I speak to groups at conferences, at churches, ministries, retreats, all of the things. But then I also coach clients. I have group sessions. I have one-on-one sessions. And then I also have, you mentioned my book. And so my book, that secret sauce, essential ingredients for creating an exceptional marriage, um, it is my love letter to married couples to help them to be able to navigate the ups and downs that just come with marriage. Because I think that the media gives us a bad sense of what marriage really is. And so I think we go into it with the wrong expectations. And so I try to level set in that and do some mindset adjustments so that you can really see marriage for the gift that I believe that it really is.
Lucille, how do we contact you? Tell us the website, social media pages, phone number, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. So my website is www.lucillereddick.com. And my socials, I am Lucille Reddick on all of those, LinkedIn, in Instagram, Facebook. I hadn't done too much on Twitter yet, but you can find me in those three places. And
My
when
goodness.
you go to my website, you can get my information. You can see me in action and all of the things. So I love
Sure.
working with people, and I have a heart to serve.
Well, this I have great conversations before, and I'm excited now to see you in person here live like this. Did you want to
Yes,
talk a little about your background to start, or what
I
brought you here?
can.
Let me ask you, because this is your Zoom show, girl. We need to know all
Yes.
about you and what you do.
So what makes me passionate about this topic is that two things I would say. Um, you said one of them is I've been married 39 years and I never thought that I would make it to this to 39 years. Early on, I just was wanted out. I was like, this is not what I expected. Trying to mesh lives together, have a family, build, have careers together. All of that was a little overwhelming for me and just not going the way I thought it would go. But then the other thing is that like when I was little, my parents divorced. Somewhere between my sixth birthday and my eighth birthday, and I just remember when my dad told me about it. He took me on a little walk, and he said, me and your mom." And in my little 8-year-old head, I didn't really understand it, right? But he let me know that, hey, I'm going to be moving and I won't be in the house with you from day to day, but anything that you need or if you need me, call me or whatever. And that was the thing. But he died shortly after that, so I didn't have that. But I still remember the hurt that I felt, from because I'm a daddy's girl. I loved being around him. I remember being a little toddler, seeing my dad back out the driveway and just standing in the door with my hands up, saying, "Oh, come back, come back."
Oh,
So
oh my
I didn't wa-
goodness.
so I didn't want that for my children. I wanted them to
No.
be able to be in a situation where things could be stable, what I consider stable for them, because things were not stable for me. And so whenever I can help people to get to a place where they can be happy, because people could stay married and not be happy, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's all about. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh
But I
wow.
come from the perspective of helping them to realize that they can be happy if they would just shift their mindset just a little bit from what they're expecting it to be to really what it is and how to navigate inside of what marriage really is. And so that's what made me passionate about it.
Well, thank you. I mean, this is amazing work you're doing. And by the way, so you had your own struggles with marriage. We talked about that to let everybody know it happens. It's okay. But tell us how you got through that and what changed.
Well, it changed for me one day when I was at the beauty salon. And I don't know how you feel about your hairdresser, but I'm telling you, it was like
I was
a
with her last
therapist.
night.
Oh,
Yes.
it is beautiful. Yes.
I had to get the extensions put back in. Makes me feel more glamorous.
And you look beautiful,
Well, thank
gorgeous.
you, darling. But yeah, you have that special bond with that hairdresser. I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you've been going to it for a while, her or him or whatever, you can let your hair down figuratively and realistically, and just kind of have those conversations. And so I was there at the salon, and I guess she asked me how things were going, and I just was not feeling it that day, and I just told her, "Look, I want a divorce." And she asked me some questions, and it was, the main things, is has he put his hands on you? Does he drink or do drugs in excess? Is he a womanizer? He's a cheater. And I said, no, no, he's not any of those things. He just goes to work and comes home. We square people. I should have said that. I didn't think about it at that time, but we didn't do any of those things. And she said, well, what is the problem? So I told her, I said, he just won't help me keep the house clean.
That's so me. He's just like me. I'm the same way. Oh, yes. Okay. And then it's like, let's
And I said,
prioritize.
and I felt like, and I didn't say this to her, but when I look back on it, I felt like that he was doing it on purpose.
Got it.
When he sits down on the bed and he takes off his socks and shoes and he throws them, in the direction of the hamper, but they don't make it to the hamper. They just laying right beside the hamper. I feel like, he saw this. He saw that this didn't land where it was supposed to land, and he made a conscious decision not to pick these socks up for whatever reason, either because he don't love me, because he don't appreciate me, I don't know what, but I had all of those things going on in my head. And I never really even said anything to him about it. We didn't even have a
Amazing, right?
conversation.
Oh my gosh.
So I so I didn't we didn't have the conversation. I didn't, bring it up to him. I just felt this thing, and it was more than socks. It was, maybe it was put dishes in the sink after I've already cleaned the sink out. Maybe it's leaving the toilet seat up and I go in there and I fall in, it's all of those things. But I just felt like that I wasn't appreciated, it wasn't loved. I know now, and several years later, that my love language is acts of service. And so when people do things for me, I don't care. I think the sexiest thing is seeing a man sweeping and mopping. You know, that just turns me on. You done took something off my plate that I don't have to do, and you're doing it. So anyway, him doing that with the socks and me internalizing it as him not loving me is what led me to that spot. But this is what she asked me. She said, um, when I told her that, it was about the socks and everything, then I felt like I needed to defend him. So I said, hey, he is a great guy. He's my protector. He's my lover. He's my friend. He's affectionate, and she was like, well, you willing to give all of those good qualities that you just mentioned away because of socks and dishes and, the raised toilet seat? And I thought, mm, wow, am I willing to give those things up because of those things? And so I had a decision to make that day. And so I did. I made the decision that I was not going to focus on the socks. I was going to focus on his strengths and the positive things that he had going on about it, the positive things that he provided for me, and I would just go on from there. And another thing, Jill, that it made me confront was that I am not who I thought I was. I thought, man, I am just this fantastic person. I am God's gift to him, and he
Oh,
is so lucky to have
of
me
course, of
because
course.
I'm perfect. I do everything right. I keep the house clean. I'm running around like a Tasmanian devil doing everything. But when I had to really think about who I was in the relationship, I had some shortcomings too. And once I realized that, hey, I got shortfalls, he got shortfalls, shortcomings, I got shortcomings. And he's accepting that. He's not badgering me about it or anything like that. But I know that, he doesn't like them. I make him late every time we go somewhere.
Yep, of course, right?
I gotta put my last little bit of makeup on and all that, So there are a number of things that I thought that I was just this perfect person. And once I realized that I'm not uh Miss Perfect, I got some shortcomings, he got some shortcomings, and we can work this thing out. That I can say what
Yep.
uh what brings me joy. What
And
what I
what
what I
brings us joy,
interpreted.
so many of us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell him what I would interpret as love because he's not going to see it because his love language is giving gifts. Now he would bring the gifts, it might be candy or flowers or cute little negligees and stuff like that. Just cute little things, that he would bring. But I didn't really value them because that's not the way that I really interpret love. Those are just things. But when somebody really takes time out of their day and energy to do something for you, that's how I interpret love. So, fast forward all these years, now that I know my love language, I know his love language, I ask for what I need. And, he is more than
Yeah.
happy to try to do that. Uh, and he can do it in his own way. Sometimes I may say,
Yep.
hey, babe, can you do such and such and such? Now, I really, in my mind, want him to drop everything and do it right then.
Of course, that's how we are. Guilty. I'm the same way.
But I had to just sit back and say, you know what? He's going to get it done. And there are more than one ways to do it. He doesn't have to do it right now. So just chill. Just chill. So I just took a lot of the stuff off of me and just chilled and said, "Hey babe, I need this done." I leave it alone. I let him do it at his time. He gets it done. I'm happy. I feel love. But now what I also do to show him love is when I go somewhere, like I just came back from New Orleans, I went to a business conference there and I brought him back something small. It might have been a t-shirt or a magnet or something like that. And he'd just be so happy, that I thought about him and that I brought something back. So we now know how to communicate and I ask for what it is that I need. And so that's a long way to answer your question, but just
No, I love it.
just having some amazing women. And I think as women, we should surround ourselves with other women who, it could be a sister if you have sisters. I'm an only child, so I don't have any siblings. But if you have good friends that you can depend on that will support you and really help you through some of those difficult times, I call it just talking you off the ledge and saying, hey, wait a minute, let's think about this a different way. And so
Yeah.
that's what that woman was for me. She was a sister, friend that day, and she said, "Hey, let's look at this a different way. This is the positives you said about him. These are the negatives. Which one?
Oh,
It's your choice. Which one you're gonna focus on?" And so I
okay.
decided I would focus on the positives.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. Well, we still have a good 6 minutes left in the show. What other details of the work you're doing and how you can help people did you
Oh,
want to share? Because I know you're helping so many.
oh yes, yes, yes. I am getting ready to start a tour, and I am looking for ministries, conferences, anything like that that I can come in and spread my message. I do it in a humorous way because I think that we can take medicine better when we can laugh about
Of
ourselves and
course.
laugh
Of
about
course.
things, right? So I would love to come in and talk to your organization, talk to your group, talk to your conference, retreat, whatever it is, about all things marriage and all things women. It doesn't have to be just a women's conference or anything like that. It can be men and women, because when I talk to my groups that I talk to, and men love it. They're like, look, we don't know any other women in this space or any other people in this space that are talking about adding that spiciness back into
Yeah.
the marriage, right? I want to keep things spicy in the bedroom. I want that passion to be there throughout the whole time. I feel like foreplay is something that starts from the time you wake up in the morning, way before you get to the bedroom, but you're doing foreplay, those moments of and gestures that you're showing your partner that they are loved and desired. And I think that's so important, because just our makeup, men and women are different and we interpret things differently. And so I don't think sometimes we as women understand the important part of the physical. I know we are running around doing all the things, and by the time we get to the
I
bedroom at night,
know,
sometimes
I know.
we're tired, and that just feels like it's just another thing that we got to do. It's something else on our list, right? But I tell women to really, really concentrate on keeping that physical connection together. Keep it spicy in the bedroom. Whatever you have to do, if y'all have to put it down on the calendar, this is our date night. This is our time that we spend connecting physically with each other. I say do that.
True.
If you
Uh-huh.
have to say do it, I'm too tired at night, get me in the morning. Hey, get up, take a shower together in the morning, get it done before work. Whatever it takes, I just feel like with that communication with each other, that you can work it out in a way that will be beneficial for both of you. No one wants that to be felt like that it's just about somebody else all the time. I got to do this, I got to do that. But it's beneficial to both. It's beneficial to both. And so I want to help people do that. And so if anybody is interested in bringing me in, I have some dates, a few dates on my calendar that are available. It's filling up fast, but go ahead and get in touch with me, and I'd love to work with you. I'll work out something where we can get together. And then if you need individual coaching, I do some of that, and I have group coaching sessions too. All of that is on my website at www.lucillereddic.com. I'm usually posting something on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn too about the events that I have coming up, because I'm always putting something out. I think the last one was reignite that fire and passion in your marriage. So we always have throughout the year all these different boot camps and sessions that come up. And so I just love pouring into people, and the feedback that I get is so rewarding that it's fulfilling to have someone tell you, hey, we on the brink of divorce, or we were just living as roommates before working with you. That really brings me joy, and it's so it just fills my heart up that I can have that type of impact on people. So I feel like it's just a gift from the Lord. So that's what I'm here for.
Well, thank you so much. Pleasure having you here, and excited that you're helping so many. Remind us how we can reach out to you, please.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Please, www.lucillereddic.com. That's where my book is. That's where my booking sheet is. And that's where you'll find out a little bit more information about me. If you want to know about any of my sessions, or upcoming workshops, retreats, or anything like that I have coming up, look me up on LinkedIn at Lucille Reddic. I think on Instagram, in addition to Lucille Reddic, I have Lucy Speaks Life. But you can still, if you just put in Lucille Reddic, it should come up too. And on Facebook, Lucille Reddic.
Well, thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. Great to see you, and looking forward to the next time we get to connect. This is so exciting. Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see you again. Thank
Same
you.
here. Thank you, Lucille. Have a fantastic day and an even
You
better
too.
weekend. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.